Leading up to the release of For the Future, my little sister and I made a billion theories, so let's take a look at which parts we got right and which parts we got very wrong. Part 3. Okay, so one of our first theories was Obama Hooty. We predicted that with Alador on our side after clouds on the horizon, he'd help to give our heroes a bit of an upgrade, and create a personalized Abomaton mech suit for Hooty. Unfortunately, we never got this, as he was too busy being a little cuckoo clock, but don't worry, I feel like a supercharged Porta Hooty is exactly the kind of final form reveal they'd be saving for the final episode. In another theory video, we'd focused on Amity's chin and its rapid and sudden growth during her time in the human realm. We'd predicted it would fix itself upon a return to the Isles, as this would correct what we'd assumed was a faulty concealment stone, but in For the Future, it never went back to normal, so I guess it was just faulty genetics. Later on, in our Rapid Fire Theories video, we'd predicted that Belos would make another Grimwalker, and that he would need to transform back into Philip to gain its trust. We'd even specifically said that this shot in the trailer was not the Grimwalker's hand, but rather Philip's once he'd found a way to become human again, which is really frustrating because this actually was the Grimwalker's hand, with Belos just ending up using it as a temporary body. We'd even thought the new Grimwalker could result in a Hunter v Hunter matchup, but luckily for our poor broken boy, he'd actually got a pretty good episode. Also, why did Belos just have another Grimwalker laying around? Does he just grow them in batches, or has he actually been gearing up to kill Hunter sometime soon? Either way, I love that he literally needs to grow them out of the ground, as we know from Season 2 that they're mostly comprised of palistrom wood. We'd finally got on to say that this shot in the trailer was Belos returning to his hideout from elsewhere in Elsewhen, but in reality this clip was actually of him just teleporting to the skull. And like, how did we not recognize that this was the teleportation glyph? Like, it's the only one we've ever seen that looks this complex. How do we mess this up?
'Cause you guys are losers!
For our final idea, we'd examine this clip, predicting that the crew would go through Lucis' memories, trying to find information on Belos, and we thought it would be for the location of his hideout, but instead they'd used it to find the glyph combo to teleport to the skull, which honestly is just way cooler, so I'm kinda sad we didn't think of that. How did we not think of that?
'Cause you guys are losers!
We'd also suggested that they might be looking through Lucis' traumatic memories, and that with her mother coming with them, she would get some much-needed therapy, which was kinda right. Camilla did help her a lot, she just didn't go through her memories to do it like we thought. Based on these other clips, we'd concluded by predicting that they'd find that Belos' hideout was somewhere in Latissa, and that this was where they were fighting in the trailer, with their opponent being Belos. In reality, it was actually just Kikimora, with the crew fighting her in the school's detention pit, but this never even crossed our minds, as the whole Hexside subplot was a lot longer than we'd expected. But I'm not making any excuses, like, how the heck did I not realize this was the detention pit? I thought this was Latissa. I thought this was— why am I even making these?
Losers!
So when looking back on all of our predictions, we ended up getting a lot of things wrong, but understandably so. There was a lot more character development and setup in this episode than we'd initially expected, and significantly more Kikimora than should ever legally be allowed. But honestly, that all just makes it so much more exciting. As we recognize we may have expected too much too soon, it just means there's still a whole lot more to watch and dream for in the finale. But let me know what you think in the comments, because honestly, I don't know, man. And follow for the next part where we cover our predictions on what we thought King was gonna do in this episode. We were way off. Unfortunately, we never got this, as he was too busy being a little cuckoo clock.